Hello, all. Hope you're faring well here in your quarantine. But anyway, so today's class, we're going to focus mostly on how to master for an EP. So we talked about and we did mastering for a single song, but let's talk about mastering for an EP or an LP. But we're going to do 3 tracks because it's easier for the time being. But you can multiply that across as many tracks as you have on the album. But for project number 3 and for this demonstration, I'm just going to use 3 tracks from the same band to make it as easy as possible. I'll show other variations later on, but this will be the rough steps you go through to master for an EP. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to need to make a Pro Tools session. And regardless of my end result, whatever my sample rate, whatever my bit depth is going to be, for the most part, it's probably going to be 16-bit 44.1 in the end. But the session I'm going to create is going to need to match, ideally, with the highest sample rate of the songs that I'm going to choose. So since I have 3 songs from the same album, from the same band, they'll probably all be the same sample rate. So to figure that out without having to import them or anything like that, you can just click on the track, hit Command I for get info, and up here I can see that it says 44.1, 24 bits. I'm just going to double check the others just to make sure. 24 bits, 44.1. Next one. 24 bits, 44.1. So now my next step is to create a Pro Tools session for all of that. So I'm going to go into Pro Tools. I'm going to go to File, Create New. Okay, so I'm going to go into Pro Tools and make a new session. And I'm going to set it for 24 bits. My sample rate is locked to an external clock. And that's for my microphone and recording this purposes. So this one's going to wind up being 48K anyway. But in reality, when you do it, make it for 44.1. So I'm going to call this mastering for EP 2. So I'm going to take these tracks, I'm going to drag them in there. It's going to take a second or so to convert it. Well, maybe like 20 seconds. Something like that. So I do have one more track. I'm going to use this as a reference track. This is a Story of the Year song, which was similar to what the guitarist of this band just absolutely loved. So I'm going to use that as a reference. I'm just going to drag that in there. It's going to be way louder, of course, because it's a mastered track. I'm going to drag it over, and I'm just going to mute it for the time being for when I'm ready to master the whole thing. So I now have all the songs in there, and I can just look at them and eyeball them. Now, one thing that I might want to do to start off with is drag them in the sequence that they're going to be on the album. So what I would probably do is open up with this song, Without You, go into Wicked Game, and then go into Eternally. And that will be my sequence. Now I'll drag them into sequence a little bit later, but this is how you'd import them into a Pro Tools session. The next video will actually get into mastering it.